Hey fellas, and welcome back to With a Y. Today I wanted to talk about a certain type of animation, or even just like character or body movement that people have been recreating both like in live action settings to look like cosplay TikTokers from 2018. But the issue is it's a very broad umbrella because it's like a style of animation or a certain look to movement, which is very general. So I'm gonna go through a few examples of what I'm talking about because you guys will probably recognize some aspect of this and ask the question, where the hell did this come from and why does it have all the connotations it has? First up is from Invincible, who did this kind of walk in 2021, so this is not like a new thing. Like, he's low-key hitting that shit. I don't know how even sped up you're able to pull that kind of movement off. It looks really cool. I don't think I can play the original music because of copyright, but you'll see that across, like, all the places it shows up, there's this association with funk music in all of it. And I've heard some of the weirdest remixes I've ever seen just looking into this stuff. I think this dude is who I see doing this the most. Like, he just spams my timeline with this shit. He's taking his breaks at Nando's off, going in the bathroom, and then just hitting the walk again. Please ignore the Susie Shimeji crawling around. They just tend to do that sometimes. He hits like the nerd beat it chick pose and then adds like a little wobble to it, which is what I've seen this get called a lot, like wobble animation, tweening, live 2D stuff even. It's a really broad topic, and I think the people doing these kind of poses are getting it from a particular type of fan edit where like, it's just Invincible getting wobbled all over the place. Check out the Invincible variants in this edit from Kyuzo. Like, he's just hitting, like, that wobble over and over again, and it does look hard as shit. Like, that's kind of undeniable. But I don't even know where WhatsApp Invincible comes from, and I just see him all over the place as the face of this entire thing. You'll have, like, even nicher edits of Prisoner Mark, where it's like, they just, like, like, you know the doorstop that you could hit and, like, watch kind of go back and forth that, like, your parents really hated you fucking messing with as a kid? On, like, a very raw level, that's what this all reminds me of. Like, I don't know anybody in real life whose favorite Mark variant is Prisoner Mark, but it's like Pokemon. Every single one is somebody's favorite, and the internet makes it so that everybody has a megaphone that you can be showed this thing without even really seeking it out. The doorstop example is what came to mind for me, but this woman, M400, I hope I said that right, they had a much better point of comparison. This broken hanger reminds me of those Invincible wobble edits. Anything that you can imagine making the sound, like if you're just looking at your homie's boner and you just like start that shit, the way it like slinkies back and forth is basically the same deal. Susie, get out of the way of the TikTok. We'll come back to more of the TikTok side of this, but Twitter is where I'm seeing some of the more egregious versions of this shit. I think the one I've seen before is like people dogging on whatever the hell retro slop is on Roblox. I'm gonna be honest, guys, this feels like one I would get a kick out of exploring myself, but the only thing I play on Roblox is Sonic Speed Sim, and I don't like customize my own avatar. I'm still using a default one because who cares? Apparently, whatever retro slop is, apparently some people think it's ruining like the communal identity of Roblox as a platform, just all this new stuff getting posted. And when I saw this particular animation, I realized I'd seen this format before with just a bunch of fictional characters, and I'm like, what the fuck is even happening? Roblox New Gens ruining Roblox and turning it into slop. Like, who are any of these people and who picked this song as the thing they wanted to use to make them bounce to? I don't know where this tweening shit originally came from, man. It's completely just catching me by surprise whenever I see more of this. I don't know if these are like just popular skins from back in the day or they're like specific people. It's completely foreign to me, but this sort of bounce animation is something I've not been allowed to escape. Dies of corniness. Dude, you made this video and you're gonna say something like dies of corny. It could be ironic, bait, or mental illness. Put your bets in the comments below when you're watching an edit and suddenly funk starts playing. Okay, there are some very good funk edits out there. It's all about the execution and it depends on person to person how much they actually care about a topic. Now, one of the other monikers I've been seeing get thrown around for this stuff, the labels I've been describing get put onto like live 2D and tweening animations pretty often. Obligatory Deltarune mention of the video, but this person person Jacksonator. They made like a pretty cool motion graphic where it was like, you know, a still image and then they like rigged it so that like they could do some like basic looping motion with it. I thought it was cool. Tenna's Western Stories, and then they gave him like a cool cowboy outfit and Ralsei is just freaking out. And it moves like this. You can think it looks a little janky or the timing on it's weird. I think that's up to preference and I don't personally mind it. I also like the detail where it's like usually the person on the back of a horse or motorcycle has to hold on to the person in front of them so they don't fall off. Meanwhile, it more seems like Susie is just anchoring Chris in place because they're gonna tumble face first if they don't do that. The thing is, this type of motion in animation has become associated with like one really unfortunate piece of art. It's the Bowser farting gif, and I can only show you the top half of this because it is about as fetishy as you think it is. Yeah, a Bowser farting gif has done irreparable damage to anybody who makes art like this on their own time. That Bowser fart gif has done irreparable damage to live 2D animation. And sure, if you just don't like the squishing or tweeting or whatever it's called, that's like a stylistic preference you're more than allowed to have. It's nothing wrong with thinking that. For me, it's just like the fact you see it all over the place, and now it just has this connotation with the Bowser farting gif, or the wobble. You wake up at 3 a.m. and see this crawling out from under your bed. What's your next move? I don't know, dying? Whatever, man. Creepy.org. Same identification. Why does it move like the Bowser fart gif? I hate this fucking gif of Goku doing a little finger wag like Sonic might. It came back around to Goku ripping off the hedgehog that ripped all his cool shit from him. Actual definition of the Bowser fart gif. I think the Bowser fart gif would be the actual literal definition of the Bowser fart gif, buddy. You have people experimenting with the animation style, just owning the label, playing with Bowser fart gif animation. If I was an artist, I would have a very hard time being secure enough in my work to willingly describe tweeting as Bowser fart animation. Fart animation this, Bowser that, and yet nobody is mentioning how this looks like. I remember when this shit first hit my timeline, man. Genuine shock because I couldn't even figure out how they were doing it. I don't think this is tweeting. I think this is like face morph put onto Roblox screenshot stills, and it gives you this weird uncanny look. That bouncing head character trend thing where they look at the camera all disgusted that I guess like tweens post as reaction gifs in fandom spaces and then either get laughed out if it leaves their target audience. People started doing them ironically because now we have like a Kendrick mustard funk version. Here you go. I'm gonna fucking cry! I'm gonna die! This will be the death of me, man. Consuming content like this on the regular is not good for my heart or my sanity. Part of me wonders if this style of animation is gonna be so broadly overshadowed by the Bowser fart gif that it just genuinely becomes the new standard terminology. Tweeting, puppet tool, live 2D. It's called the Bowser fart gif. You learned this in art school if you went, you idiot! Imagine an art professor like getting G-checked by one of his students who's like, actually, it's not called tweeting, man. We don't use that terminology anymore. It's very old school. This is another place I've seen this kind of tweeting animation pop up that I just can't escape. Every Marvel Rivals menu, every update has animation like this for its home menu. You could have just done a wallpaper engine, man. Do like the solid background and then do some overlay effects. But instead you got this, and it hurts as a Rocket Raccoon main to see him moving around like that. To be fair though, the tweens are a little more subtle than this, so it feels less like the kind of bounciness I think a lot of people associate with the character portrait shit. It is kind of unfortunate that the entire medium has been painted with the Bowser fart gif brush. Like if any other term had caught on to describe these things as like a joke, it probably would have been more bearable to continue doing that kind of work. Unfortunately, it's too far spread now and it's so over. I think this Demon Slayer edit, don't watch the show, is really good. The visuals are really compelling and it does the tweening shit that we've been talking about all video, but I think it's implemented really well. Like, it's only animating the parts, it's mostly animating the hair and the parts that could kind of move while the rest of a person's body is static. Like, wind could be blowing through your hair and you're just standing there for, like, aura farming effect. Your clothes could ripple in the wind while you're just, like, looking straight ahead. Very small movements like eyes and shit, I think it works. Shit's hard, man. Shit's hard, and they just got a lot of cool visuals to go along with it. This is by Slaughter, by the way, with an X instead of an A. It's good stuff. And I think the thing that makes me laugh the most is that tweening is really that widespread, where people notice noticing that it's like a common thing you see in edits and also in like those character portrait animations kind of became the consensus separately of each other. People doing the IRL recreations on TikTok are saying that it reminds them of Invincible wobble edits. That's the term they use because it's the thing they've seen they associate most with it. People who are recreating it are saying, you must think you're in a comic or some shit, man. I do imagine myself in funk TikTok edits when I really need to hype myself up for something, so I think this is a valid strat. I also love like people who are just like struggling to get it done, like they over-exaggerate the move so much. Is that Psy over here just trying to fly into frame, but the camera just keeps going faster than him? I'm lost, where am I? Shout out Jake Neutron, but I just love when people attempt to follow the fundamentals of animation while doing something live action. But yeah, overall, I wanted to call this out so that way if this wasn't something you'd been noticing, you'll probably now not be able to unsee it whenever an example of it comes on your screen wherever you may be, and I really hope that makes your day worse for the foreseeable future. Anyways, that's all I got. That kwytebox email's in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. Anyways, piss off.